Gentleman from Washington State, Mr. Inslee, for 5 minutes.
Ms. Secretary, if you'd like to finish your answer, you weren't given an opportunity. Go ahead if you'd like to do that.
Oh, yes. Very quickly, the SPRO was meant, and during that release, and an international coordinated release in the IEA, the SPRO was meant to deal with the temporary disruption in supply with Libya. And now Libya is coming back in petroleum reserves, and the SPRO release served its intended purpose.
Ms. Secretary, I appreciate the work you're doing on advanced forms of energy. Bill Gates was at our Advanced Energy Research Consortium last week talking about the need for greater national investment. And I certainly echo that, and I appreciate you, to the extent possible, advancing that cause. I want to ask you specifically about biofuels. There's a potential bioreactor. We're looking at various bioreactors, either commercial or pre-commercial. We're ready to go out in the Northwest. Could you comment, and I'd obviously like you to come out and take a look at our state opportunities in that regard. What should be in the near term for bioreactors?
Sure. We think the idea of making transportation liquid fuel using biological sources has great promise. And the Department of Energy over the years has been supporting this, and we think that these technologies do have, it's from algae, from grasses, from using residual agricultural waste. All of these things have the potential, again, of having an alternate supply of transportation fuel that would go further to our oil, less dependency on oil, and especially less dependency on foreign oil, because these things can be made in the United States.
So we like the idea of biorefineries. A product designed by Targeted Growth, a company in Seattle, was the first biofuel to partially fuel a jet. Boeing 747 flew across the Atlantic Ocean last summer, first ever in human history. So we're looking, Washington State University and others are leading a consortium, Boeing, Alaska Airlines, to work for a biorefinery out in the Northwest. What could you advise us to try to make sure the Department of Energy looks at the state of Washington as far as an opportunity there?
We will certainly look at that particular project, but we will look at all the projects, and I have a real avid interest in this because I think it does have great potential for decreasing our dependency on oil, and we will need liquid transportation fuel in the coming decades, I would say, in this century.
I think you will find out in Washington State probably about as an advanced consortium from the genetic designer to the grower to the aeronautics company ready to accept delivery. You're going to find a very welcome network that is pre-prepared for this adventure, and I hope you will take a good look at Washington State. One more question about Washington State. We have some very good success out at the Hanford site. We're freeing some land now to be ready for development, and your agency is moving forward to allow about 1,600 acres to be allowed for commercial development. We're very excited about that because we need to transition from the cleanup to new industries in the Tri-Cities. We're told it could be a year and a half before we actually get that done. We hope that you can do anything you can to expedite that transfer because we've got some companies looking at good things in the old Hanford site. I hope you could take a look at that to expedite
I'll
that.
look at that.
Last, I want to thank you. I haven't agreed with everything you're doing there. We have a disagreement on our yucca issue. I won't bring that up today. But I just want to thank you. I've got a 1-month-old granddaughter, and I want to thank you for your efforts giving her a shot to enjoy a world when she's my age of 61 that looks something like the one we've got here today. One of my friends across the aisle talked about something ruining the world, and you're doing some work to make sure it's not ruined by the time she's 60. The work you're doing on solar energy is spectacular. You look at the Alta company, the world's most durable solar cell made in Marysville, Washington, the Silicon Energy Company, REC, Nanosys doing advanced nanotechnology for lithium-ion battery storage, Energy 2 company doing ultracapacitors. These are spectacular things you're doing, and because of your success, which I believe we're going to have, my granddaughter's going to have a shot of having a world that looks like the one we've got. And I know you're going to be catching a lot of arrows in your back for those who are naysayers and believe that a negative voice is the American one. I believe a positive voice is the American one, and we're going to grow this economy, and we're going to give my granddaughter a shot and everybody else's at a world that looks like ours. So I just want to thank you and keep it up.
Gentleman's time has expired. At this time, I recognize the gentleman from Kansas, Mr. Pompeo, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Secretary Chu, for being here today. I want the world to look great for my son as well. And to do that, I think we have to do things that work. And so I'm going to ask you about